What's going on, you guys? Optical 20 here for a product review. I picked this monitor up because my second monitor is 11 years old, and I thought it was time to upgrade because it's super thick. It's like one of those old CTR TVs and what's not. So I don't want to pay too much though, because it's just a second monitor for me. You know, it helps me with my workflow. So I decided to pick this up at Amazon for $80 with a $10 rebate. So around $70, 1080p IPS monitor from Asus. So I was like, you know what? Let me film this up just in case somebody wants to pick this model up. As you can see, the model number by the box. This came straight from Amazon like this, not open though, but yeah. So you know, if you're not too picky, because 4K monitors are still pretty expensive these days. The TVs, I feel like, are cheaper than monitors. So, and there's not a whole lot of 4K content yet. And even if there is, you know, at least for what I do, I don't require too much 4K content. So I just want to do this unboxing slash, you know, a little bit of review, a quick review, so to speak. So for practically $70 after rebate, that's not too bad. As you can see, there's the stand, some manuals and registration forms and whatnot, and the monitor itself. So it's you know, it's nothing too complicated. There's a few cords. I believe this is this is VGA, who uses VGA nowadays, and we have you know, DVI, and this is the power cord. So it doesn't come with HDMI, but it does, you know, it does support HDMI. It just doesn't come with one. So you know, you can buy it off on eBay or your local electric store. It's fairly cheap nowadays, especially if you get it from eBay. And don't believe the hype. You don't need monster cables and, you know, those expensive ones. You see the monitor itself, it's pretty thin, and the screen is not as reflective as my other monitor. So let's take a look at the back part, because the front, you know, it's pretty much the same as any monitors out there. You see Asus, and you know, see the paneling right there, just a textured back. It is compatible if you want to mount it, you know, if you have a small space, because that's what I used before. I used the VESA mount to mount it on my desk. I got this like clamp, so you can see the inputs here: HDMI, DVI, and VGA. There's also an input for headphones, because this monitor can actually has a speaker, so it can act as I guess a TV, you know, if you want to. You know, it's not the best monitor out there. Obviously, you can't expect too much for an $80 monitor, but you know, like I said, depending on what you use this for, you know, I mean, you can use this for Xbox gaming or PlayStation 4. It's 1080p, it's not 4K, so you're not gonna get the top-notch resolution that you're looking for. But you know, if you're just looking for something to get by, you know, until you purchase a better one, then this is not too bad. Contrast ratio is pretty good as well. Full HD 1080p, LED, and IPS. I don't know why it's LED. Maybe the backlight, because I always thought this was just an LCD. And I just want to give you a comparison. This is my setup before. So the one on the right, the small one, it's a Samsung 11-year-old monitor that I have. So I just use it for, you know, putting. I got some security cameras outside of the house and, you know, throughout the house. So I do put those in the second monitor. But it doesn't look good, as you can see, aesthetic-wise. You know, they don't have the same fit. My main monitor is the PlayStation monitor. I don't know if you guys remember back in the day, PlayStation 3, they got this 3D monitor that they were selling for pretty cheap, you know, on eBay and the Sony store when they're about to close those out. And I got this for like $120, which is pretty good because it's 1080p. The resolution is really nice. The color are really crisp. But as far as you know, it does have a speaker on the side, so it tends to look wide, even though it's really not that wide. But now, as you can see here, this is my new setup now with the Asus on the right. On your right, yeah, you can see the color difference too. I mean, the Sony PlayStation TV, or if that's what it's called, or PlayStation Display, I think it's still a better monitor. It's not made to become a monitor, but it's made to be a TV. But if you can find this pretty cheap on eBay, and I've searched before just to get uniformed and whatnot. It's still around 150. There's a few, you know, quirks about it. You know, it turns off every once in a while, so I mean, it's up to you. But you can see the blacks are a little bit deeper on the Asus. It's a little bit darker, the shades are a little bit darker, but this is I believe 24 inches, so it's pretty much the same size as my PlayStation monitor. The bevel on their sides are pretty big compared to my TV, but again, at the same time, you know, like the PlayStation TV was released years ago, and this guy I think is 2011 or 12. That's why it's pretty cheap. It's still IPS, but you know, it's cheap. And there's different modes. I didn't play around with it. There's a game mode, night view mode, and obviously you can see the, you know, it changes on the background, but I just have the Spider-Man logo in the back. But I mean, you can play it around. It's not a comprehensive review. It's just more of a, I guess, my opinion on the product. And this is how it looks like, you know. The one on the left is my main monitor, which is the PlayStation. I think it's a better monitor. It's a bit reflective, as you can see. You can see the reflection on the left-hand side compared to the Asus, which is, I like it a lot better. You know, because it doesn't reflect too much. But color-wise, I would say it's a better resolution, even though they're the same 1080p. I guess the color in the PlayStation is a lot better. You can see it right here, but maybe this is not a better. This is not a good comparison wallpaper. You know, if I put something else, let's do this. So you can see the colors are, you know, the difference on the color. But as I was mentioning, this is better. You can see the Captain America. I guess there's a lot more detail that you can see on the PlayStation TV. I still love that monitor even after all these years, but you know, Asus is not too bad. You know, if you're just gonna do multitasking, this can get the job done. So thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next review.